is Elizabeth Joyce with your October forecast for 2020. There is the harvest full moon right on October 1st, and with the Aries moon exactly conjunct Chiron. Chiron is the wounded warrior, and this represents the need for healing, which is definitely true throughout the United States right now. The suffering of the weak and the powerless now become obvious. Regardless of your relationship status, Aries is acting on a high level, and it reminds you that tending to your self-interests is not selfish. On the esoteric level, the message is to communicate right action and make your critical decisions that are right for you. The call for an end of separation, division, and the hard times is growing louder and louder and more impatient. This month, however, there is little hope of relief or peace. In fact, it's quite the contrary. On October 3rd, the moon, which represents our emotions, is in a struggle with Jupiter and Saturn and Pluto, the big three cardinal signs that have been acting up all year, before reaching Mars. At the same time, Pluto ends its retrograde phase, adding more fuel to the fire. There could be power struggles during this period, especially around October 9th, when Mars forms a square to Pluto. Some people might now try to force things ruthlessly and violently at their will. Do not put up with everything around you and speak up if you must, but please beware of adding fuel to the fire. My concern, and I ask for prayers, is for the suggested replacement for SCOTUS, which begins on the 12th. So there's a lot of pre-energy and anger around that action. But there's some good news. After a sluggish summer of 3 heavy-duty planets retrograded Capricorn, they finally begin moving forward between September 12th and October 4th. You should feel your energy beginning to be picked up after a sluggish 6 months. But don't get too excited. There's a lot going on. Mars continues his retrograde cycle until November 15th, and Mercury turns retrograde on October 13th. This creates a bit of a shove-jerk as some energies are moving forward and others are slowing down the process. Still, there's an emphasis on planets in action signs of Aries, Libra, and Capricorn, so you will not lack for things to do. In the following days, the Sun and Libra form squares to Jupiter on October 11th, Pluto on October 15th, and Saturn on October 18th. The new moon of October 16th and Mars and Aries are also involved in this powerful, very high tension that's going on. It's a critical time with very little room for maneuvering, but this is precisely what could lead to courageous decisions being taken, which are risky, but at least take us a step further in a positive way. In these days, we should reflect on a line from the I Ching and bring it to the heart. The best way to fight evil is to bring energetic progress towards the good. During the last third of the month, there could be actually some progress. Venus moves through Virgo from October 2nd to October 27th. So there is astral help in getting organized and clearing your clutter. I'm sure many people have to do that. Venus in Virgo forms an opposition to Neptune on November 18th, and Mars squares Jupiter a day later. Retrograde Mercury, since October 13th, is in opposition to Uranus, the planet of surprises and sudden and unexpected changes. The state of facts and fake news will be even more unclear than before, but for once, those who are seriously working on the solution of this manifold problem will have a turnaround, an upswing. On October 23rd, the Sun enters Scorpio. Mercury and Venus enter Libra on October 28th, and finally on the 31st, there is a second full moon, which is called a blue moon. Once in a blue moon. Happens about every 2.5 years. This Taurus moon is closed in communication with rebellious Uranus. So, the last week of October will bring a clear shift in the quality of time, including a shift from daylight savings time, and surprising developments may be expected just before November 3rd. At month's end, the stellium of Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn is still in the formative stage, just beginning to build their power. The struggle for power is not only waged in the great fabric of the world stage, but in your personal life as well. Your course must be set anew, and sometimes it is necessary to let go of things that we have come to love in order to make the changes necessary. This concerns especially those who have planets in last degrees of Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, or Libra. Accept the challenge. Anything that is accomplished during this time can develop into a stable basis for many years to come. Work diligently with your angels. Gain the insight that you need. Inner stability is the result of self-knowledge, and self-knowledge is gained by going within, speaking with your angels and guides, and listening to the universe and see what it advises you. This is Elizabeth Joyce with Visions of Reality. The website is new-visions.com. If you'd like to make a call to ask a question or book a reading, the 24-hour answering service is 201-934-8986. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in November.